COVID-19. And it is make tough time for the family to keep a sense of calm, but in order to help children feel safe, community, and manage their emotional and emotional, we have to follow all these steps. Most of the children who are very young,
Ma'am, voice
they
echo.
will feel bored and uncertain about the child. They may feel fear and grief over the impact of the virus and on their family. This is a tough time for the parents how to deal with children or what to do as a parent. If I can quote Bill Davis, once he said, "If you have never been hated by a child, you have never been a parent." This is the time for most of us as a parents being facing problems of children's anger outbursts, of minimal provocation, temper tantrum, and many other hyperactivity. As a parent, what we can do? Because it's a very difficult time for parents today. Not only do we need to make both physical and mental efforts, as in raising our children during this difficult time, but we also need to make an important decision that will affect them positively. So, today's webinar will answer very pertinent issues on parenting, and we have many speakers from the field of mental health. Now I will hand over to moderator of today's webinar, lecturer of our department, Ms. Indira Bhaumik. Over to Indira.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, it is a lovely Monday morning. Hello and good morning, everyone. I feel extremely glad to welcome everyone to the third webinar on children and pandemic, organized by Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute of Medical Science and Dr. Ram Manohar Lohiya Hospital, Center of Excellence in Mental Health, in association with Indian Society of Professional Social Work. And it gives me immense pleasure to be here in front of you all and most venerated personalities who have glorified the field of mental health. Before we begin today's webinar, firstly, I would like to thank the experts for taking their precious time out and making this event. And secondly, I would like to thank all the participants for being here today. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce Dr. Pradeep Kumar Pandey, sir, consultant psychiatric social worker, State Institute of Mental Health, University of Health Sciences, Rohtak, Haryana. He has more than 15 years of experience in the area of mental health. He is awarded with Best Academician, Global Disability Empowerment Award by Honorable Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India. And many more commendable work for his in mental health. He is fellow and life associate member of various mental health field and professional bodies in psychiatry and psychiatric social work. He is reviewer as well as editorial board member of various journals. He has many national and international publications to his credit. Sir, please share few words with all of us here. Over to you, sir. Sir, kindly unmute yourself. Sir, no, you are not audible, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Thank you so much, Indra. Before presenting my key notes address, thanks for
Sir,
children and pandemic. Emerging mental issue, pandemic creating state of crisis and adolescents have already been at school being shut down for over 5 months of this country. So regular secure disrupted idea of they will be stored. So you can find to at home and in some situation may be separated from parents for time or parents anxiety and loss of appetite. Now, quarantine and isolation may lead to acute stress disorders, PTSD, and grief in many children. The kind of therapeutic inputs that children with various
Sorry for
disabilities.
the interruption, sir.
Hello?
If anybody is near to Pradeep sir's ID, please kindly mute yourself first.
Okay. Hello?
Okay, sir, carry on, carry on. Yes, sir,
Hello?
yes, sir, carry on.
Okay. So, quarantine and isolation may also lead to acute stress disorders, PTSD, and grief in many children. The kind of therapeutic that disabilities cannot be various therapies, psychotherapy, medication, etc. Or economic hard of parents, including what advice and suggestions certain advice we as parents
Kindly mute yourself, everybody, except sir.
so that children are not excessive exposed to pandemic related information and so limit media exposures, answer question honestly, don't make false promises, figure out new routines for the household and the child. We must get to academic work, play interaction with peers and relatives over the phone or music. Answer question, don't make false figure next it would be also have a some exercises as a part of this routine, yoga, stitches, keeping, etc. So family can include games that parents may not have time to play. Thus, connect with family playing board games and cards, cartoons, antakshari, etc. So parents are their generally parents are their own anxiety won't transfer their anxiety to any emotional issue. Watch out of it. Parents watch out with repetitive behavior of the children. Then and they found that significant space consider and evaluation by a mental health professional and speak out of the
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Voice is not clear. कुछ benefit नहीं हो रहा है. आप जो भी बोल रहे हैं, kindly इस चीज को overcome कीजिए.
ठीक है.
Thank you so much. So sorry for interruption.
So just I am briefing. I am audible or not? If the child already has a mental illness, please reach out to your doctors via phone or email. Continue psychotropic medications. The child is already prescribed at the prescribed doses, unless otherwise recommended by your doctors. So please do not discontinue this medication abruptly. Please find telemedicine resources if available or possible in your area, and find a way to take care of yourself medically as well as psychologically. So you are your family biggest pillar of support. So I don't want to go in details because we have so many prominent and experienced peoples in that area, including my teacher, Professor Amul Ranjan sir. So I handed over the to proceed further. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom. Sorry for the technical issues.
Okay.
So I hope everyone is Thank you, sir. So I hope everyone is now ready for our session to enrich their learning experiences. For many parents, home in the age of COVID-19 has become the office and the classroom both. They feel like they have 5 jobs at least in a day or at a time.
Sorry.
Many parents are struggling to not only keep their children occupied, but also oversee schooling. And in this situation, given the rapid and drastic changes in the daily life that the world has been witnessed recently, it is not uncommon for the parents to doubt their parenting approach, whether they are doing enough or not, and wonder about what else they can do for their child. Well, our first topic is technological boundaries as a hurdle in parenting. We'll definitely clear our all doubts regarding this matter. Just a little housekeeping before that. We just about to start our session, so everybody please settle down and mute yourself and switch off your camera. Before we get started, if you have any questions regarding this presentation, please type that to the message box. We'll definitely take them up end of the every presentation. Right? Without further ado, we'll turn the time over to our first speaker. For this, I take the opportunity to introduce Professor Dr. Amul Ranjan Singh sir. He's a professor in Department of Clinical Psychology, Rimpas, Ranchi. He served as HOD of the Department Clinical of Psychology for 15 years. Sir has approx 200 researches publication in national and international journals and books to his credit. He is life member of Indian Association of Clinical Psychology and also selected for the as a post of president in ISCP previously. He is awarded with Best Teacher in 2008. So today, sir will be sharing with us his expert opinion on the topic of technological boundaries as a hurdle in parenting. Over to you, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, please give us 2 minutes. There are some technical issues, I guess.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, yes,
Hello.
sir. You are audible now.
Am I audible? Yes. Very good morning to all of you. I am very sorry that there is some problem in our internet connection. But anyhow, I am really grateful for being considered to be part of this program. And I am seeing from here that most of the faces are known to me, in fact. And this is a wonderful occasion for me also to share some of the experiences what I have. So I will start with without wasting any time, I will just come to the point because parenting has always been, challenging as well as interesting phenomena for all the parents. And if you look, so what happens that when we are talking about parenting, maybe that we are talking about the parents. And, one thing is very important that our background matters most. The type of family we are coming from, the type of society we represent to, and everything, whatever we have learned from our background, which is deeply imbibed within us, that generally is reflected in our parenting style. And in present era, when it is completely digitalized or technology-driven society, parenting has become more challenging, where the parents are at time, they are not able to understand that what is the best method of parenting. So this is something, a sort of enigma which will remain there, because it is not that a specific type of parenting is good or bad. The only thing is that whichever way we adopt for our child, if that suits to our child, that is the best parenting style. So what happens that it is as a mental health professional or as any professional, when we think about the parenting, basically what happens that it is a sort of skill which is learned in due course of time, learned through our experiences, learned from our families, and that is translated into our day-to-day activities or parenting style. So actually there is some disruption. That is why sometime I'm stopping for a while. So now I will start with my some of the slides which are very small in number. Purpose is very simple that I thought that there must be some structured discussion also subsequently. So I will talk about two things. One is parenting and then e-parenting also, because what is happening nowadays, it is not only the parenting, but we are driven by technology. So many times many things we are learning from the technology also and trying to implement it in respect to the parenting of our child. One from SI, I just want to know, are you able to see the slides or not? Hello?
No, sir. Slides are not visible yet.
No, sir. Slide is not visible.
Okay, okay. Just wait for a while.
Participants, please prepare your questions and put that in the message box. We'll have a question and answer round after this presentation.
Due to some technical reasons, we are not able to display the slides that we are trying. Anyhow, I am starting with the parenting. Basically, parenting means it is purposive activities which is aimed at ensuring the survival and development of children. That is the very fundamental thing which encompasses various aspects of parenting. But that is determined by the type of background we come from. So one is the traditional family. Most of the parenting style has emerged from the traditional families where it is not only the parents but other family members, especially the grandparents and some of the other relatives may stay together, and whatever we acquire information from them, that is transmitted or transferred while we are in the process of helping our children to grow. So that is the traditional family system, which is gradually changing, shifting to new pattern, and most of the families are basically two-parent families in present scenario, where both the parents are staying together, and this is a sort of nucleus family. And here the responsibility of parenting is completely on these parents. So each and every parenting or the background will have its own way, in what way it is reflected in our parenting. Another families will be single parent families. That is also a very common phenomenon, divorced, separated, right? Sometimes people adopt certain children. So they will also qualify for the single parent families, where the child is there and one of the parents has taken up the responsibility to run the family and to ensure that whatever best possible is available to him, what all resources does he or she has, she or he is able to use it in the development of the child. Gay and lesbian families, this is another concept which has come up, and even in India there are some who have adopted a child or got a child, and they are trying to help their child to grow in such a way that they remain integrated to the core part of the society. Because these are the challenges which we come across during parenting on the initial level. Acceptance, for example, that when there is a child coming from a single parent family, for example, or gay or lesbian families, what happens? That they feel that they are a bit different from other children. Children talk about their parents, grandparents, other family members, but they are not able to. Sometimes they will talk about father or mother, and if the child is coming from a family which has been from a single parent, naturally they will avoid talking about one of the parents with whom they are not staying with. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. I am sorry for the inconvenience, extremely sorry, but
That's okay, sir.
still
That's
I am
okay,
trying.
sir. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Grandparent-rated families, that is another thing, and which has been for a long time in our country as well as in other countries also. So what happened, that intergenerational gap, what we are talking about nowadays, that has been something somehow where the child was able to associate not only with the parents, but they were able to identify themselves with the grandparents also. So naturally the quality of learning from the grandparents was a bit different from the parents, but that is how they realized that that is how we progress and we grow in our life. So that was a very good learning experience, not only for the children, but for the parents as well as grandparents. So children of working parents, that is another category where we come across many children to us where both the parents are working and they are not able to give sufficient time, or sometimes for no reason the parents will have the guilt feeling that maybe that they are not able to do justice with their child for no reason. It is basically the guilt which is only because of one reason, that maybe that they are not able to spend time, but there are various other factors which prevent us giving quality time to our children, which prevent us providing best of our own self to our children at the right time. So that is also to be. Now, what are the dimensions of parenting? What actually does it? Why we are interested in knowing about the parenting, including in the pandemic period? First and most important responsibility of any parents is to provide care to the child, whatever age the child is of. Generally in the growing stage, especially up to 15, 16, if you see, it is physical care, which is required more in the early stage of life. Then comes emotional care. If you see, that is one of the most important ingredients of normal, healthy personality development. In what way do we relate with the child? In what way the child relates with us? In what way do we communicate certain emotional issues with the child, or whether the child is able to communicate the same with us? In what way do we respond to the child? That is something reciprocal. The child will also start relating with them. The biggest challenge to the parents of present era is that somehow we have not been able to socialize the way we have been socializing earlier. We have got limited times we always talk about. We are so much busy with the technology that even with sitting with the child, we are not able to socialize with him or her. So what happens? That we are busy doing some work, some activity. We think that yes, I am doing something which is great, which is important for my career and life, or for, in any case, I am doing it for my family members or for my child. But somehow the child starts lacking these components, whether this is physical care, whether this is emotional or social care. And these are the basic foundations. That makes the child strong. That makes the child more integrated in terms of realizing that yes, I am very much part of this core family. I belong to this family. जब आप किसी से पूछते हो, whenever you ask any individual, people start talking about their family. That comes from where? That comes from the parenting, core parenting features. Then comes control. That is another important aspect where the parenting has to focus. Parents have to realize that what best we are providing to the child, that is all right, but setting and controlling boundaries are also very, very important. The child must realize that this is something to do with the discipline, this is something to do with the culture of the family, which
Sir, your voice is not
has come up in due course. As we are growing, automatically the boundaries. What?
No, it's okay, sir. Yeah, continue.
Now the development. Now overall development, if you see, what is our aim? Why do we want to ensure that the child is provided best care, child is having a better sense of control, realizes what all responsibilities does he have? Because we want that the child grows in an enterprising manner. He is good in studies, good in sports, good in interaction, good in relating with others, and he is emotionally stable. He is able to regulate his emotions properly. So it means the development mainly focuses on development of enterprising individual or the child. Those who are able to relate well, those who are good in studies, those who are good in developing good interpersonal relationships, they are supposed to be genuinely well-developed children in time to come, so that they are able to integrate themselves in the larger society in time to come. Then what are additional responsibilities of the guardians? Functional level. What all physical facilities can we provide to the child for optimum care as well as for optimum education, so that they feel secure, they feel that they are being genuinely looked after, they are being genuinely cared. What best education can we provide? That is another component. Each and every guardian, each and every parent are of view that we must provide best education, whatever capacity do I have accordingly. And that's important. That message must go to the child. Child must realize that it is something which is great, which is something most feasible thing are being done by my parents. They are looking after me, they are providing help and care, they are inquiring about my educational achievements, they are helping me in studies, so that makes them more integrated with the family. And that is how we can provide ourselves to the child. Then on the social level, that is equally important, I tell you, because somebody is very good in academics but is not able to socialize well. That will be one of the basic handicaps in time to come. So we have to help the children to socialize also. Ensure that what all responsibilities do they have in respect to the others, especially the peers, friends, relatives, in what way should they act. Similarly with the parents, grandparents, in what way should they present themselves in front of family members, and that is completely reciprocal. If the child feels that yes, my parents socialize well with others, he or she will also start realizing that the importance of that aspect, and they get into social relationship accordingly, and that gives them a very good cushion to stand any type of stress in life. Those who lack in social interaction, who have got limited social interactions, they are very likely to be exposed to stressing situations. Many times they are not able to stand that stress, and that is why sometimes we have to come forward to help such children or even the family members. Then the mental health. Overall, it is the responsibility of the parents to provide conducive environment so that the children's thinking, perception about the words, in what way do they judge people, in what way do they judge activities of the world, they are able to imbibe in a very healthy manner. They are able to stand stress. They are able to realize that anxiety is not a deterrent. If there is mild anxiety, they should take it in a healthy way. They should realize that anxiety is for time being. If I am able to perform certain things, maybe that I will be able to overcome that, and that will improve my functionality in time to come. And that is generally taught, communicated, disseminated through parents, that yes, we have to have sound body as well as sound mental health, because it is the integration of all the activities which actually makes us healthy and enterprising. There are different type of parenting style. Everybody knows about it. It's not that I'm talking anything new, but important thing is that one important aspect of the authoritative style, parenting style, which is very common, that yes, parents are very warm and accepting. That is very important phenomenon, authoritative, but at the same time they are demanding. So what happens? Such type of children will develop good confidence. They will be able to communicate well. They will be able to understand that yes, parents are good, nice. They are looking after me. They are playing with me. They are socializing with me. They are helping me to interact with others. At the same time, they expect that I am able to do what they are expecting out of me. If they expect me to study for a while, yes, I must do that. If they expect me to do certain things, I must be able to do that. So it is not something unethical if you are warm, open, accepting to the child. At the same time, you tell, yes, I would like that you do some certain things in your life so that you are able to achieve. That will be great, and that instills confidence in the child, that makes the child that yes, is very much part of the parents, and if they love, accept them as it is. So naturally, I should also be able to reciprocate in terms of responding to what they are expecting on the most of the occasions. Then similar type of term comes authoritarian parenting style. That's a bit different. Here, the parents are cold and unaccepting. It means that the things are very strict. That is one-way communication. They will not they are not responsive to the child. Whatever they tell, that is the final thing. Yes, this is to be done by this time, and then they expect the result. So this is authoritarian, and at the same time they are demanding. So what happens? That the child does not think that he or she has been duly accepted. They think that yes, I am a sort of tool where I am supposed to do the things what my parents expect out of me. There are many parents who come to us that I have provided the child everything, but he is not able to do it because they do not talk to them. They fix up the goal and then they expect the result. They will not express their happiness. They will not express their views on many things when the children come to them for help. They have a cold face. At the same time, they are very demanding. So this group is the families who are adopting authoritarian parenting style. They are very likely to have the children who will have one or other type of difficulties in time to come for better adjustment or better achievement in life. Then another category is permissive type, where the parents are warm, accepting, responsive, right? But they do not demand anything. They do not express anything. So what happens? Gradually the child starts losing motivation. That is only feel good. Think is okay. That is all right in the beginning. But children must be motivated, persuaded to remain active in certain activities which are expected. So they are very warm. They will always accept. They respond to the children's views, but they will have no say in terms of any expectation from their own side. So what happens? Initially the child responds nicely, but after some time the child will start losing his motivation for better achievement in life, because there is no signal from the parents what actually they want out of them, what all expectations do they have. They think that things are moving nicely. So generally what happens? These are the parents who are having some anxiety within themselves, who do not want, who consider themselves that they do not want to impose anything from their own side. It is not imposing, but it is something you have to express sometimes that motivates the children, and that is very important. That the permissive parenting style should also be considered properly and help them that they are able to transform into some a category where they will have some demand, some expectations at least. And another important type of parenting style which is very common, that is neglectful. They are cold and unaccepting, that is one. At the same time, they are under demanding. Suppose there is some problem within the family, neglectful, that is broken families, alcoholic parents, or one of the parents, somebody is having chronic mental health issues, chronic physical illness. So they themselves are busy in their own life and they are not able to pay due attention to their children. So they are not able to express the things in a proper way. So lack of emotional expression in front of children makes them who will come. At the same time, they do not seem to be motivated to get into some fruitful activities where they are able to compete with certain aspects in respect to sports or education. So these are the main parenting style. There are many other, and there will be some diffuse type of also. So that depends on the type of families they are coming from, and accordingly we adopt and we keep changing that from our experiences. So it is not more or less as a parents there will be one type, but once they observe somebody else, they will try to accommodate, adopt certain things in order to improve their parenting style. Operational prerequisites. What are the operational prerequisites for parenting? Knowledge and understanding. It's the basic foundation. Children are very curious to know about various aspects of the words. So we should have some fundamental knowledge not only for parenting, but understanding them. What do they expect? What all they want from us? What all knowledge is required? What all should we share with them as they are growing gradually? So that keeps them motivated. So another point is motivation. It is the continuous motivation of the parents which keeps children also motivated. If they are participating in their education, for example, the child is sitting with the book, you also sit, look at the books, copies, responses, talk about those things, talk about the days you had in your childhood. So that makes them more integrated, more motivated, that yes, this is how they have to move further. Skills. Nowadays it is basically technology driven society. So many skills we have learned from families, we have learned through observation, and we are learning through technologies. Of course, many things which we come across through technology, sometimes those things also require lots of validation, but that is what is required and we keep doing it. So there is various skills, I will be talking about it also. So like various skills, if I ask a simple thing that, for example, social skill, that is something which we are missing a lot nowadays. We are not able to give quality time to the children. We are not able to take them out. We are not able to spend sufficient time with our friends, relatives. So that particular deficit is making them vulnerable for the problem in time to come. So then in what way the children should be guided, what all is expected out of parents. So many expectations are there. It is not that there is the end of it. The only thing is that where you feel confident, where you feel that yes, you have got adequate resources, you must provide those skills. Confidence comes from the skills, and that is generally transmitted. Even when there is a very small child, but depending on the parenting style, the child will have confidence. The child feels that yes, I can do it. I have learned it. So that is something which makes the children grow in a more healthier manner and in a more confident manner. Social network, again I am emphasizing, because this is the network which is becoming weak and weak. Nowadays, we are spending lots of time with technology. Social media, for example, there are different type of platforms. We think that we are very active day and night, but sometimes we are not realizing the fact face-to-face interaction is also required. We have to play with the children. We have to make them sure that they are very important to us, and that is something. They are the most important friends for us, where we can spend quality time with them. Many times we ignore them. They come to us, certain things to us, but we will have one other excuse doing certain activities, and then we think also that what all we are doing is not for myself but ultimately for my family and children. But no, we are doing it, but at the same time we must ensure that responsibility of healthy upbringing of our children lies on us. We should never deny that, and we must ensure that we must sit with them, play with them, go outside, go for a walk, take them to the relatives' friends' place. If the relatives come, let them learn what all is required. They should also be able to develop certain type of relations with them. They should speak to them when they feel it. So, and we should also help them to ensure that they have got some good friends also, because that is also lacking. People are not socializing, and though we think that my child is very social, but they do not actually get the opportunity. And in future, you will realize that there are so many families where the children will have problem, not because of the education or academics, but because facilities at home, furniture, what all they demand, that is being done. Every parent does his or her best, that is all right. But how much our own self do we provide to them? So material resources is important for every child, that is to be provided. At the same time, they must realize the importance of these things. They should not think that is something they demanded, they expected, and immediately that is available. They must realize that each and everything what is being provided, that has got a meaning, that has got a purpose, that is something important, that has been after long effort, sincere effort from the parents, and automatically they will start realizing the importance of such material resources. But that is essential ingredient for the children. There are many deprived families where they are not able to provide even the books in time. So naturally, for them, the book itself is a big resource. But for others, there are various other physical materials which they think is must, and then they try and enjoy those things. Opportunity. Every guardian, every parent has to explore what best opportunities are available for the child. Not only for education, but for socialization, for sports, for other skill-based activities. So the child becomes enterprising. Because unless we are able to have those things within ourselves, it will be difficult for a child. Because children, many times what happens, that they are into some sort of friendship where they think that my another friend is having this opportunity, I don't have. Even when they try to share it, we ignore it, or we think that this is not something which is very important. Each and every aspect what child brings to us must be thoroughly discussed in a right perspective. It is not that we are just talking for sake of talking, but so that the child realizes that whatever he or she speaks, that is duly being heard and understood by the parents, and in what way the parent responds, the child should take in a healthy way, or should realize that what all best my parents are doing, that is okay, and there are certain limitations also. If that is so, that must be accepted by the children in a healthier manner. Major concerns is parenting and poverty. Many times the poverty becomes a problem, and this is world over. Lots of studies have been undertaken where poverty has been associated with parenting in a negative manner. Not negative means that the outcome of parenting has not been satisfied. So that is to be thoroughly addressed. Poverty is something very subjective. It is not only the monetary poverty, but there are different type of poverty within us also. Emotional poverty, for example, that I am very parsimonious in terms of expressing myself. That also somehow becomes a sort of deterrent in development of a child. So, but in normal course, it is the poverty which we understand in most of the occasions. So that plays a significant role. That makes parents feel that they have got certain limitations, but that must be thoroughly explained to the child, discussed with the child, and many children will understand the limitations of their parents, and still they will try their best to overcome such problems. Work-life balance, that is another thing. Most of us are in habit of telling that we are very busy. We are doing so many things, we have achieved so many things, but ultimate achievement comes from the children's achievement. What all we are achieving today, that will be measured in time to come, the way we have nurtured our children, the way our children have been able to achieve in their life, the type of children they finally become when they are grown up, the type of family they will have when they are grown up. So ultimately those things matter a lot. That is why that is to be looked after. In lockdown, what has happened? Many parents have got wonderful opportunity to interact with their children, and children have got that opportunity because they are not going to schools. They are sitting at home doing certain things online. At the same time, they have got plenty of time to discuss the issues. They are spending time with them, making them understand that what all background I am coming from, what all we do in office, what all you do in your school, in what way did we grow in our early age, what best can help you if you want to have proper development in sports and other social activities. So that makes them feel more integrated. Parental versus peer influence. Yes, that is always a challenge for parents. When the children start growing, they will have more of external influences, especially peer group. And many parents will be very much worried, but the same thing happened to with us as well when we were child. So it is not. Peer influence many times helps children, and most of the time, please remember, if you are able to identify certain issues, if the child comes to you, spend some time, find it out, and you will be able to resolve the issues in most of the occasions. So peer influence is something cannot be ignored. It is important for development also, and sometimes children are able to do certain things which otherwise we had not thought of. At the same time, they may get into the bad companies also. So this is overall something that balancing. To what extent do we think that the peer influence is helping my child, or where we should have certain discussions to ensure that the child realizes that beyond that I should not cross the boundaries. Parenting in dysfunctional families, yes, as I was telling in the beginning, that there are many families where some family member has been dysfunctional for alcohol, for substance abuse, or for some mental health issues, or for some chronic physical ailments, or some senior persons within the family has not been thinking well, or because of some other reasons also. So the parenting becomes tough and more challenging. So that depends that in what way are we able to again communicate those things to the child. We should not keep cursing our fate that this thing is present in the family. That is why I am not able to look after my child properly. That is why. No, what all you are doing your duty. What all problem you have to ultimately face it. The child is there in your family. He should also or she should also realize that this is the collective responsibility of everyone within the family. What all limitations do we have? Despite that, we have to grow. We have to educate ourselves. We have to achieve certain things in our life, and many things we learn when we have got such type of things. If the father is alcoholic, doesn't mean the child will not study. Sometimes they will take it as challenge. Sometimes they realize it is my mother who is doing everything. So they will definitely do certain things in order to ensure that the father's behavior does not become a hurdle in their development. So there are many families where, despite all these dysfunctional issues, the children have been able to grow beyond a level, and eventually they are able to look after, and they are looking after their whole family. It is not only one of the parents. So parenting and mental health, as I said in the beginning, that is the integrated part. That parenting basically is a big support for the children. When you are good parents, if your parenting style is good, they always feel that there is a good support system. So whatever anxiety, whatever problem they come across, they are able to cross that hurdle very easily. They do not take it as a problem. They do not think that there is anything which I should hide or I should not share. And ultimately, the clarity of thinking, the sense of confidence, self-esteem, everything matters a lot, and that comes from the families, I tell you. In what way do you relate with your children? In what way do they perceive their families? Right? In what way do they look at their father or mother, brother or sister, whosoever is there in the family? And that is the totality. So mental health cannot be explained in isolation, but it is the overall. So there are various positive aspects of mental health, and those who are coming from good parenting background, they will definitely have more sound mental health, and the vulnerability will be minimal. Parental support across social spectrum, that is very important, because that is what we are lacking nowadays. It is nucleus families. Gradually we are cutting off from our own relatives, friends, and at the time of crisis, it is the support which helps them. Mostly social support. If people are around you, they come forward immediately. Yes, don't worry, we are there. What best can we do for you? Don't worry, there is another alternative. Not all difficulties we come across, and that instills confidence in the child. That improves the self-confidence in the child. The child feels that yes, there are many others also. At the time of crisis, I can consult, I can seek the help, blessings from other people also in the society. So parental support across social spectrum is very important. In what way do they relate with the teacher? In what way do they relate with the relatives? In what way do they relate with the friends of the child? Everything matters a lot, as well as their guardians. So we have to see those aspects also in a very positive way to have proper parenting. So technology, what has happened nowadays, that it is e-parenting which is dominating. We do not interact with our relatives, our friends. Rather, we will immediately look into some new information which is pouring in from different platforms, from net, internet, and all that. So sometimes those informations are not validated. Those are simply informations that that is not necessarily come out of experience, that has not been maybe properly validated. I am emphasizing on the validation because many things we see, many things we know, but unless you do it yourself, or if there is some substantial evidence, we should not immediately try to implement it. So what happens that because that also puts at risk many times. We think उनका बच्चा ऐसा करता है, वो लोग ऐसे करते हैं. We immediately try to do it. We have to think about it. Pros and cons have to be looked into before we finally think that this is the method we should look for. So these are the major concerns in parenting. So what roles do we have as a professionals, and who all professionals are important for the appropriate parenting? So it starts right from the time when the inception of the child. That is basically it is the family physician, doctors. Then comes pediatricians. Now and again we go to them, seek their advice, seek what best type of food can be provided to the child, what all nutrients are required, how is the growth of the child, vaccinations and all that. Thereafter, if there are certain issues, people come to the counselors, not for mental health issues, but in general for psychologists or social workers. And if there are certain issues where they think that the child requires some specific help, only then they are referred to the mental health professionals, mostly to say psychiatric social workers or psychologists. If psychologists or social workers feel that maybe that the child requires further help in respect to mental health or some other professional, accordingly they are referred, including to the psychiatrist. So that comes in the last, but the most important thing is that professionals also have got certain important roles. There are different type of families who come to us for one other reason without realizing that is also impacting their parenting. They will come for some other problems, and in due course of time of our discussion, we realize that that is adversely affecting their parenting also. If there has been some dispute, conflict within the family for one other reason, that will also reflect on the parenting style. right? So our responsibility is such where we should, if at all we come across such type of families, if we are able to identify the issues, those issues must be discussed, and most of the families will be very much motivated to discuss about parenting also, because there are some who will come very early and there are some who will come very late. For example, late example I can give you, we are having the direction unit where the parent, when we start talking to their parents, then they start realizing there are certain things maybe that we are also lacking as a parents, and that might have resulted in the present scenario. I mean that they just start thinking that maybe that there are certain lacunas that might have resulted in the uh, substance abuse problem in their child. So there is no end of such things. What I wanted to emphasize is that we must be able to recognize our role as a professional, and we have to help the guardians, family members, to realize one fact, that we cannot go in isolation. If I have got a family, I have got, say, nuclear family, so it is not that I am completely off from other relatives, other friends, other things in the world, but we have to work and grow in an integrated manner. So this is all I wanted to share with you. Thank you, and lots of inconvenience has occurred. I am extremely sorry for this also. So now I am open for any queries and questions.
Yes.
What an excellent session it was, isn't it? So, sir actually covered all the aspects from parents to peers, from important issues to influential things, from support system to self-esteem. I think we all already cleared our all doubts. Sir has also covered the role of the professionals during this crisis, that how we can help the parents as well. So thank you so much, sir. It is our privilege to hear you. Your words will certainly enlighten our minds for offering the best of our abilities. Thank you so much, sir. So,
Thank you.
yeah, we'll go ahead and take some questions now. It looks like we have some questions, sir. First,
Sure.
one of our participants want to like share something, like they have a child. They didn't mention the age. I think 12th in class. Already have a game addiction, and the parents both are busy doing their online works. So how can they manage their child during this situation?
Will you please repeat what are the parents are doing?
So the child is already game addicted, and their parents, both of the parents are busy doing their online work. So they want to know that how they can manage their child, like to stay away from the mobile phone.
Okay, it means that probably we are talking about a technology addiction. First of all,
Yes.
we should be honest with the children that when we are questioning their wisdom in terms of technology addiction, as a parents, are we also addicted to technology or not? How much time do we spend with technology as a parents? Because many times what happens, when the child does something, we will immediately object. And when he comes to us for asking anything, we remain busy in our own work activities. So that creates conflict in the mind of the children. That when you are doing, you think that you are doing wonderful things, you are doing something very wonderful. And whenever I am doing something, you always criticize and question my system. So as a parents, first of all, we have to realize that if there is anything to do with addiction of technology, first we have to detoxify ourselves. We have to detox rather, fix up the times for these technology-based activities, and the problem has increased. In fact, right from the time when people have started working from home, because there is no way out, and that is what we have to accept on. But still, we have to help the child. That this is important. We must spend some time. We cannot stop each side from the technology. The only thing is that we have to help the child to understand that there must be certain limitations. How much time do they actually spend? And they should ask to come for help, seek professional help, so that the issues are resolved and discussed properly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So another thing is, somebody want to like share if you can share some words regarding parental burnout and child maltreatment during this pandemic.
Yeah. Yes, this is very common issue. And first of all, parental burnout is something. Again, I'm very straight in telling and confiding that what has happened. The parents had also never thought this type of situation will come. So there is no issue of burnout. Rather, they should feel blessed that they're getting time to spend time with their children, and they should enjoy every moment of it instead of thinking that now I am held up at home, I am not able to go out, and I am seeing the day-to-day chorus every day in my family and home every day. No, we as a parent should have the feeling that okay, not only in our place or in our country, but world over. So this is the opportunity, and we should try our best to spend quality time with the children, play with them, share our experiences of early ages. That is very important. That helps the children to identify with our with their guardians, and we should not take it as a burden. We should take it as an opportunity. We should take it as a great opportunity that we had never thought that we'll be able to spend so much time at home. And same thing is applicable to the children. If we start playing with them, discussing certain things, we start watching certain movies, playing certain games, sharing certain experiences, the child is motivated that they start experiences of school, which maybe that they have not been able to. So that makes the environment something more friendly, and that has definitely brought many children and parents closer to each other. There are some where there are some conflict. So again, they have to realize that it is not a trust. This is the opportunity.
Okay, sir. So the next question is how to help parents with a child of autism during this pandemic. Actually, the participants want to know mainly the problem in adapting new norms as children are at a prolonged time they are home quarantined. I think it is applicable for all children right now.
What? Please repeat again, because sometimes there is disruption
Yes,
in
sir.
voice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the participant wants to know that how to deal with the child who has like problem in adapting new norms during this pandemic, because for a long time they are home quarantined at home.
Yes. I have got your question. Now it is already 3 to 4 months, right?
Yes,
By now, most of the children have been able to adapt themselves to this situation, right? And they're looking forward when they will get opportunity to go out and play, interact, meet their friends, right? So that is why it is social media which will help them to remain in touch with them, right? So they feel that they are still part of it, and the same thing will be shared by their friends also. So that will make them feel that there is some distance, they are not physically able to meet, but this is a restriction all over. And children are very sensitive, they are understanding it. Initially, there were some problems for beginning of 15 days. Now they're well adapted to it, and at least they will get that type of having get here as a professional, depending on their background, distances.
Yes. So due to shortage of time, we'll take another question, please. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, thank you so much for such an information. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We are good, sir. Thank you,
I
sir.
am also thankful to all learning viewers. And I know most of you, so it was a great occasion for me also to be here, but I am extremely sorry for lots of disruption
That's completely okay,
during
sir.
the course of my
Sir, I had a question, sir. Actually, I wanted to ask one question. Sir, most of the time while family therapy or family counseling we do, most of the
हाँ
parents
एक मिनट
ask
क्लास
about
एक्चुअली
the
मैं क्लास में
positive
बस
and the
एंटर ही कर
negative
रहा था कि आपका फोन
reinforcement,
देखा
which comes under
जी
behavior
बताइए
therapy. Because sir, positive and the negative reinforcement is
अच्छा
very different
ठीक
in
है आ
types of
जाइए
family, and the way they handle it while providing positive and negative
मैं
information.
क्लास
So
में थोड़ी
how
दूर हूँ
do
आप
we,
ओपीडी आ जाइए
when we
ओपीडी
ask us
पहुँच
these
के
type of
फिर
question,
मुझे
how
रिंग
to
कीजिए या जो
explain
भी
them
आ रहा है उसको
what would be the
पहुँच के मुझे
suitable
फोन
style
कीजिए
of this reinforcement in particular families?
Please understand that is from where I started, in fact, that parents are miniature of their background of family background, right? That is one.
Yes.
Number two,
Yes.
what our parenting style a particular parents has adopted. Accordingly, we have to help them to understand that what will be the best method of introducing reinforcement or withdrawing that. Simple, right?
Yes.
Because for one family certain things are good, and other families maybe that they will not like that very idea of such type of reinforcement because their parenting style is different. Somebody is receptive, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Warming, so naturally they will take it that way. But somebody is cold, undemanding, so naturally they will think maybe that is not possible for us, right? Because they are not able to express their views properly. So they do not expect also the appropriate response. They will think, but they will not act accordingly. So that is where during family therapy, we have to help the parents understand that they have to take proactive role to help the child to grow in a healthy manner. What all deficit did I have as a child? Now I have become a father or parent.
Yes, sir.
If I am still reflecting those things in my child, that will be a big deterrent in the growth of my child. So if I am having some deficit myself, so I must relook into myself so that I am able to reorient myself, and accordingly I decide that probably these are the things which I need to learn and eventually apply it on my child.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for so insightful session. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Indra.
sir. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you, sir, for addressing all the questions we have.
All the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We'll go ahead to our next session now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so moving on, a global pandemic raises stress levels for everyone, including caregivers or parents. So family around the world are adapting to the new changes that are happening because of COVID-19. While isolation can represent an opportunity to spend time together or develop a relationship between parents and child, many caregivers are experiencing conflicting feelings and priorities as well as practical challenges. So we know that all the parents are now struggling to balance their work, their childcare, their self-care. But if you are experiencing signs of stress, how to deal with that? Well, our second session is on the topic of role reversal and managing parental stress. And with that long list of achievements and glory, I am honored to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Bhupendra Singh Sir. He is the Assistant Professor in Department of Psychiatric Social Work, Institute of Mental Health, Rohtak. He is involved in research and clinical activities along with the various research publications in national and international journals. His special areas of interest include mental health, social case and group work, psychosocial rehabilitation, school mental health, family research and training. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Indra. Before starting, I would like.
Sir, unmute yourself, please.
Sir, unmute yourself.
Thank you, Indra and the team. And before before moving to my topic, I would like to show my gratitude, my regard to my teacher, Dr. Amul Ranjan Singh. And I'm extremely happy and thankful to Dr. Satabdi and his team to giving me this opportunity to follow my guide and mentor in a same webinar session. Once again, thank you, Dr. Satabdi and his team. So, as I can understand that we are running short of time, so I will directly move to my topic, and I'll try to make it as short as possible. So when we talk about the role reversal, we can see that a lot of things are going on due to this COVID pandemic, and several aspects include our responsibilities, role, duties, and yes, the most important thing is that our family life, our children, and that means I'm talking about here as a parent. So the role reversal is a very concurrent issue at present, which is came in existence probably due to this pandemic. And this before talking to the role reversal, just few words about the parenting. When we talk about the parenting, it's a gift of God, and it's gardening that universe blossom in face of child. By brightening our best in your child, you bring the best in the universe. Parenting is a trust, that biggest responsibility to live that trust throughout your life. Yes, it's a labor of love and is enjoying things, smiling together, singing song, playing together with your child are almost enjoyable moments of life. When we talk about normalcy, normal parenting, and that expected form, basically in Indian perspective, that sole responsibility goes to the mothers. That every aspect, it is. I'm not telling that it is documented or applicable everywhere, but yes, it's applicable most of the time. So every aspect and every take care responsibility of the children goes towards mother. This, although that yes, as I talked about, that ideal condition is expected that both have to take care for their children, but this COVID-19, it changed bit phenomenology of this taking care responsibility and all these things, and that responsibility moves somewhere. It's there is in a figure, it male figure, but it is not necessarily male only. It could be a female also. The children's school is closed, their outing is closed, and they remain inside the home. Their teaching, training, day activities, outside activities, everything is within the premises of the house, and that reflected in the way of uh, additional responsibility for the parents. Basically, those many times they lost their patience, they become aggressive. There are n number of domestic violence and the issues were reported towards the children, towards the female, towards the elderly, and that is somehow I can consider that it's just a reflection of this COVID pandemic and that role reversal as well. This kind of pictures are very common in this role reversal, as you can see in the screen. Now, before moving to the parental stress and all these things, although that sir had covered most of the things, I would like to just talk about ABCD of parenting. This ABCD is very common, very everyone usually used to perform in day-to-day life, but yes, many times we missed this also. As an Indian, many times we focus on the higher degrees rather to the primary degrees, and this ABCD many times missed in our parenting skills. So I would like to start with A. Accept your child for the wonderful person he or she is, as he or she is. Be good role model in all you say and do. Communicate respectfully and listen attentively to your child. D. Discipline fairly, firmly, and with love. E is encourage good eating habits. F. Find ways to get and stay fit together. Give chores that build responsibility. Hug your child to build self-worth. I is instill respect for other people. Basically install that respecting the feelings of means your children should be able to understand that how paying respect to others is useful or that necessary in the learning way. J, to join the school, or you can say that the teaching activities to understand the child's progress. Keep your promise or do not make them, that is K. L, laugh together and enjoy each other's company. Make family rules and enforce them consistently. As sir was mentioning about that take dependency and all these things. So yes, it must be like that, that if you are making certain rules for the child, then that rule should be applicable on other family members as well. Never use physical force on your child. Offer your help whenever it's needed. It's not as per that your own convenience. It must be as per the children's convenience or as per his requirement, her requirement. Praise your child for achievement as well as for efforts. And yes, that very important cue is quickly stop child from harmful activities. Not only the small kids, this harmful activity can be applicable in any age group, from teens, from the young childs, from the newborn babies, and everywhere. Read together, often make reading fun, that is R. S is so patience, and remember nobody is perfect. Many times we have a thought that being second child, being third child, being a member of joint family, being being a clinical psychologist, being a psychiatric social worker, or being a child specialist, we could be a good parent. It should not be like that. Nobody can be perfect in every situation, but yes, we can learn the things, and during these learning and all these things, we have to show our patience. Teach health and safety rules, preferably health hygienes. In the current condition, health hygiene, respiratory hygiene, and the disposal and all these things. Use every opportunity to show your love. I love you, I accept you. There should be no string attached. Value your child's thought and opinion. Wait until you calm down before disciplining your child. Don't be very abrupt in punishing and making some consequences for the things. Xerox and save the records of your child's achievements. You can make a difference in your child's life, so parent with pride. Say that 100% you are proud on your child. And that at last, zoom over this ABC again and narrate your own versions and apply in your practical life. Moving towards some, as these are the components. Sir has talked about n number of stress, and we are facing about in our day-to-day life n number of stress. That stress could be that responsibilities of which were forced by the school, or which were required by the children's learning, or we can say that it's a basic requirement for their good learning. At the same time, that expectations from office, those who are working, expectations from that civil society rules, and n number of things were existing. Apart from all these responsibilities, as Amol sir has rightly mentioned, that we should consider this time as an opportunity to be connected, and what we can do, that we can start to channelizing all these things in a very positive manner. If we talk about this pandemic, just it's a pandemic, yes, but when it comes to your child, when it comes to your inside your house, and when it comes to your parenting style, just take it as a positive. Always be willing to talk about COVID-19. Be open and listen whatever thought he or she is putting. Honest. Always try to show that honest answers. Many times you may feel that you don't have every answer. It is okay that if you don't have every answer, you can't answer for every question. Clearly say that yes, it's not in my knowledge, my information. We will search it together. I will find it and let you know all these things. Always be supportive and let them understand that heroes are not the bullies. There are a lot of storying going on out. Many things are that in this social media, messages are like bombarding in the news channels, even that they are, every news channel is broadcasting n number of things. So you have to make clear cut communication, clear cut pattern, and the clear cut source of information. That source of information must be very reliable and like UNICEF, like WHO, like Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and other resources which are reliable and which are providing exact and the factual information that should be discussed, that should be spreaded with the child and with you as well. One-to-one time during the COVID, as we are discussing earlier, that set aside time. We have to fix a time. It could be 20 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, whatever is possible. If it is not possible for a longer time, fix a time, and preferably on the same time every day, and pay attention to your child. Give him time to spend for him only. It is not for you and not for your own activities. That time must be devoted to your children, and it should be focused to him or her only. Ask your child what they would like to do, and in their likings you should join. It's okay if with the physical distancing, if it is possible, with the mandatory conditions whatever are expected in your geographical area, follow the things in that frame. And if that are not possible, make them understand that these things are not possible in the current situation, in the current in our geographical regions. Ideas with you about something that they like. It could be sport, cricket, football, kabaddi, whatever in their thought. Celebrities, about their friends, cook their favorite meals, exercise together, especially as hear their favorite music. Keeping it possible during the coronavirus outbreak, say the behavior you want to see. Explain, tell them clearly that what you are expecting, that the things should be in this manner, things should be in a very structured manner, what is your expectation, how they are able to perform it or not. But always speak in a very calm voice. And yes, you have to praise your child whatever behave, if they are behaving very in a your expected manner, if they are behaving well. And get real, always be real, and help your teen to stay connected rather to forcing them or to putting some critical conditions to them. Create a flexible but consistent daily routine. Teach your child about keeping safe distance, hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene, and all these things should be imparted in their behavior. Always try to learn or always try to teach through play. It could be number game, object game, indoor games, whatever is possible. Basically, memory games, singing, and all these things can be done inside the home. Keeping, yes, very important thing when it comes to the teen, basically that keep them safe online. Take fixes, protect your children online. Try to use some take gatekeepers, that they may control their virtual hours, they may control their virtual accessibility, and all these things. Yes, the communication pattern must be very open, that whatever they are accessing, whatever they were experiencing, that need to be discussed. Family harmony at home. Due to this role reversal, this family harmony is on the challenge many times. That expectations which were very much scheduled, a performance which were very much scheduled for every family member, now the things were changed. The male who was supposed to move for the office, or female or male, whatever, who is going to the office, was supposed to leave for 8:30, for 9:30, for whatever time. And now the things are changed. They are always inside the home because work from home. They are expecting few things from the partner, that another partner is always, he or she have his or her schedule. At the same time, children's their have own schedule. Everything is stuck and they messed up, and this messing up many times creates issues. House activities, houseworks, school activities, school works, children's expectations, the life partner's expectations, many times these things just mixed up and create difficulty. So what we can do, that we can start acting as a model for our kids. Always use positive language, nice things to do together as a family. Empathetic active listener, always be empathetic when we are listening to our child and in front of our child to everyone. Share the difficulties, share the load and feeling of your stress or agree if you are so. Try to keep yourself calm. There are 5 very small steps that may help you to taking a pause. That first one, find a comfortable sitting position on your feet, flat on your floor, hands resting in your lap, close your eyes in you feel comfortable. Ask yourself, what am I thinking now? Notice your thought. Notice if they are negative or positive. Notice how you feel emotionally. If you are feeling, your feelings are happy or not. Notice how your body feels. Anything that hurts or is tense. Listen to your breath as it goes in and out. You can put the hand on your stomach and feel it rise and fall with each breath. You may want to say to yourself, it's okay, whatever it is, I am okay. Then just listen to your breath for a while. Notice how your whole body feels. Listen to the sounds in the room and think, do I feel different at all? When you are ready, open your eyes, be open and listen to your children. Your children will look to you for support and reassurance. Listen to your children when they share how they are feeling, accept how they feel and give them comfort. When we are talking about bad behavior, we cannot say that every children is not going to act in a very in a non acceptable manner, or we cannot say that every children will behave in a very non acceptable behavior. It can occur in any condition. So try to redirect them, and yes, you should or you can use the consequences, but for before using the consequences, always give your child a choice that he or she have to perform the things in a way or they have to face the consequences. Try to stay calm, make sure that you can follow the consequences or the restrictions or the rule, whatever you are creating for your children, it must be followed by you and your partner, which where you are creating for your child. And once the consequence is over, give your child a chance to do something good and praise them for it. Many times we get angry, so if we get angry, so always stop the river at the source, take a break and take care of yourself. Try to involve your teens, to your children's young ones in making family budget. What do we spend now? Talk about needs and their wants basically. When we talk about the families, Indian families and traditional families, many times we can see that yes, it is a part now that we are living in that nuclear families, but traditional Indian families are mostly that joint families. So if we talk about the crowded homes and the communities where we are living with the children, so what we can do in this COVID era, that stay where we are, help your children with physical distancing, make hand washing and hygiene as a fun. Just incorporate these behaviors in their playing games, their living style, and encourage to think of activities that they can do as exercise without moving out, without touching the things, without putting their hand on the means on the surface basically. At the end, if I talk about that, there are few things which you can include in your behavior that may help you to reducing your stress. Before moving to that the things, I must say that it many time it may be reflected as in a vice versa, husband or wife or husband, but it is actually applicable on both. And when they are performing role as a parent, when you we are performing as a parent, at that time basically we are parent only, we cannot be specifically in any side. Yes, in between we have to perform other roles, then we have to be, but otherwise as a parent we have to perform as a parent. So few tips I can just suggest you that may help you. Always ration your exposure to negative thoughts and negative media. As we can say that most of the time the things are running, always the things which are in the TV, newspaper, WhatsApp, social media, everywhere. So try to control the things, minimize your information collection for anything. It is not about the COVID-19 only. For anything, just reduce your collection of information in a very particular time, twice in a day, 30 minutes in a day, whatever is comfortable, whatever suits you, but try to fix it rather to be very collective for all the day. Be good news rather to be a bomb. Always, if you are available, if you are talking, if you are addressing to your child or the children, they must be happy to listen you, to hear from you. Use insight from the psychological thoughts, concepts to help your future self. Allow for more time to get things done. Don't make the fix that 5 minutes and it is over. Yes, you are assigning them. If you are assigning a time to your child that you have to finish it in the 5 minutes, then put 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes additional in your mind. You don't if you are not sharing with him, it is okay, but the things must be in your mind that if you are allowing them that they finish the task within the 5 minutes, then there are 5 other minutes, 3 other minutes which you are not telling him or her, but it is that they can take a longer period. And when bad things happen, reappraise the situation always. Sense of empathy is stressing you out, get in touch with more clear-handed problem solving side of your empathetic nature. Everyone have a very problem, everyone have problem solving, strong problem solving phenomena, skills. Everyone have a very empathetic nature. When it comes to parents, it is very strong one. Let me clear you, if you talk about the problem solving skills of your child, you as a parent are the super or the fabulous one who have the skills to solve the difficulty. At the same time, when we talk about the empathetic nature, you are the topmost person who can hear them with very warm and effective manner. So look for the practical. Yes, when we talk about our physical need regarding sleep, you may face some difficulty regarding sleep. Find the practical solutions, but don't get stressed that I was not able to sleep for whole night because of taking care for my young chap, for my toddler, or for my children, or for my household activities, or for my office duties. Try to manage the things whenever it is possible. Try to give the time to you as per the your current possible ways basically. Yes, again, help children to cope with their own stresses and teach sibling how to work out their differences. Basically, as sir was talking about, there are n number of challenges for the children, for the sibling, for the styles. So we, as a moderator, as an expert, we can frame certain things. We can suggest them how they can handle all these things. Make time for inspiration. Always try to stress boosting effort in your nature, and whenever it is possible, if the things and the rules local authorities allows you to move out, please move out. Even you can go on your roof, and make some exercise in a manner of fun rather in a manner of punishment. With this, I say that happy parenting. Thanks for listening.
Wonderful session. Very wonderful session, sir. Sir
Thanks.
actually focused on the various uh, topics today, like to have patience and keep positivity, and how to keep safe our children, at the same time being a parent, how to manage our stress as well. So we learned the amazing ABCD model of effective communication, and that is absolutely very helpful for all the parents, sir. All of our participants are just amazed with your session, sir. I can see so many messages of appreciation for you.
Thank you.
So I think sir has covered all the queries that we have. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Your session was full of valuable knowledge for us. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, moving ahead. On to our third session now. Now, we all understand the COVID-19 pandemic is having some serious ripple effects that may be contributing to many of us experiencing much higher levels of stress or anxiety. During these difficult times, people may turn to substance like alcohol or maybe cannabis or smoking as a way of coping. And if it is turns to a parents, what can be more harmful than that? This importance for the parents for being aware that they may have increased their taking of substance abuse, and to deal with their stress they are doing that, and as a consequence their kids may consider that the using
No.
he has joined. Give us 2 minutes, please.
Sri Gopal, sir?
He's there, sir.
Yeah, he's there.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
He's there and he has unmuted himself, but
Please.
I think due to some reason he's not.
Audible.
Sir, again, if possible, please rejoin, sir.
Sir, please log down
If
and
possible, please
again
rejoin.
rejoin. Okay, in between that, do we have Bhupendra sir, please?
Bhupendra, sir.
Is he there?
Yes, he's there.
So we have one query.
Yes, just ask his question.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead. Ask him.
So we have one query. During this pandemic situation, if somebody have like siblings, I mean the children are having siblings at their home, how to deal with that sibling rivalry? One of the participants has already asked this question. So if you can address this.
I think Dr. Bhupender has some connectivity issue.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. We're extremely sorry for this technical issue.
Actually, ma'am, light was gone. That's why my laptop is also desktop also off. So I'm not able to in and out admit to anyone. That is just let me 2 minutes. I'll do.
Yeah, participant, please give us 2 minutes.
Indira, I think Bhupender is there. We can see him.
Sorry. I
Indira?
was disconnected.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
he's
ma'am.
there.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's
ma'am. Now
there.
I can
Huh.
see
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So, sir, one of the query of our participant was like how to deal with sibling rivalry during this pandemic crisis.
Okay. Basically, when we talk about parenting and sibling rivalry, is parenting can control it via two things. Usually this rivalry came, if we talk about in the pathological manner, in that younger one, sorry, elder one. And if we pay proper attention and we address it in a very right time, then it can be controlled. Very right time, I mean to say that if we started to paying attention and giving maximum time to one child, and that another one is feeling it, then we have to make sure, and we have to, as I was talking about, give proper time, praise them in way to their recognition, in way to their acceptance, in way to their uh, ideas, so the things can be minimized. One thing. Second thing, always we have to pay proper attention to their requirements and to their challenges each other, what and what condition, how they are challenging and crossing each other. That part need to be addressed in a very early stage, rather to putting in a consequence way and the consequences manner. So things must be addressed in a very early stage if possible. Why I'm telling that possible? That many times we missed it, and if we missed it, then without any hesitation we should move to a mental health professional specifically. We should move to a uh, facility where we can treat it, we can control it, and we can learn the things from experts. It is not necessary that we know each and everything, and we never ever think like that for our children's difficulty moving to expert is a bad thing. No, we are trying to learn new things, and if we are feeling so that we are unable to control the things, we are not able to manage the things, then we must seek the help from the experts. Indira.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So another query is there. One of our participants is asking, what is your suggestion to the parent who think they are accountable to fulfill material needs and they are doing best for their children?
Yes, I think they are very right. Parents are responsible for fulfilling the requirement and making the needs of their children. But yes, if this thought goes to the pathological, see, it is my responsibility to provide each means everyone's responsibility to provide whatever their children are expecting and whatever they are needing to provide them. But in their own capacity, we have to make our limitation frame. We have to set our own limits, what we can do and what we cannot. If my child is asking for a jet, I cannot afford it. So I have to make a limit for children as well as for myself also. To yes, these are the limits where I can fulfill his or her expectation, and these are my limits. When these limits were crossed, I will not force. I will not run for the matching his needs. So we cannot say that if we are trying to do our best and if the things are in our reach, and if we are fulfilling the things, then yes, obviously it is right, we should do, but again within our limit, within our frame.
Okay. Yes, sir. So the last question is, how to keep motivating the young children, basically for their study or maybe the entrance exam, because in this period the exam dates are very uncertain. So how to motivate them?
Yes, very interesting question. Even not for the exam, motivating them to connected in the study for
Of course.
motivating a children, for motivating a child for anything what is not interesting for them, it is a very tough deal. What we can do, we can make it interesting, that, or we can make it as a structured life part, lifestyle, from 8 to 9, from 9 to 12, or whatever. We have to sit, and we all are going to study, then we are going for a dance, then we all are going to do this. So things must be make, first thing must be make structured. Second thing, the learning through play. If we can impart the things, if we can include the things in a practical manner, that the things whatever he or she have to learn, we can include in a gaming behavior, like solving a puzzle, solving a math question, math problem. Solving a math problem would be associated with the household task. This task is for you. It is like your mama, or like I cook the pizza. This task is like pizza for you. You will finish this task, and in between I will finish this task. So the things can be make bit interesting, and their curiosity can be increased. Once you will finish this task, once you will do all those activities, then we will move for xyz things. We have to identify their interest as well, and we have to connect their interest from their study.
Yes, sir. I think we yes, we have. Sir, over to you, sir. Please proceed. Sir, unmute yourself, please.
I think he is unmute.
Am I audible, sir? Sir, kindly unmute yourself. Somehow your voice is not coming, sir.
Might be some internet issue. Someone can remove him and ask him to rejoin.
I'm extremely sorry for this technical issue. Kindly be patient with us. In between, is anybody having any question?
Yes,
They may ask,
Indira,
please.
as I can see that there is a question from Nilesh Gujjar.
Bhupen sir, we have another question.
Okay. I can see that there is a question from Nilesh Gujjar. How reinforcement can be used for good parenting?
Sir, can you please unmute?
Oh. Yes, Indira, please.
Yes, sir. So it is somebody is asking that how to reinforce how the reinforcement can be used for good parenting.
Yes. See, reinforcement can be used and utilized in a very fruitful manner everywhere, from parenting, from your daily life. But we have to choose that at what time and how much we have to apply. As we all are aware that reinforcement can be considered either positive or negative. So basically, when we talk about the parenting and healthy parenting, I suggest that positive reinforcement is a, yes, I'm not telling that negative reinforcement should not be used, but yes, it is my opinion that positive reinforcement is a more effective and long lasting effect for the teaching or the training things to our kids, to our children's. When we talk about how to as I was talking about the things when homework and the study preparation and all these things, if we are able to identify their area of interest, so we can connect the things that if you will complete your 5 hour 3 hour 2 hour home assignment and the task, then we will go for a dance class, then we can have a chocolate, you can have a singing class, and all these things can be connected with the as a positive reinforcement. Similarly, if he or she is breaking the rules, not following that household rules and the regulations, then there might be some negative reinforcement to control the negative aspects as well.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for addressing all of the queries. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Indra.
Thank you, sir. So, are we good to go, sir?
Goel sir, can you hear me? Please stop sharing your video and unmute your audio. Probably due to internet connection, this issue is occur. So I think that may help. हेलो, नहीं नहीं, सेक्रेटरी वाले में आना है और मुझे लगता है सारे लोग आ गए हैं। आप पहुंचिए, मैं देखता हूँ कि कौन है, फिर मैं आपको कॉल बैक करता हूँ। हाँ, कार्ड आप बनवा लीजिए, इन बिटवीन मैं आपको कॉल कर रहा हूँ कि कहाँ आना है।
Sir, can you unmute your second ID, please? Probably that will work. We are extremely sorry for this inconvenience. Kindly be with us for a few minutes more.
मैम गुड आफ्टरनून। मैम कहाँ पे हैं? मैम एक पेशेंट दिखाना था, किसको दिखा सकता हूँ? हाँ वो एक्चुअली स्टेशन मास्टर थे कभी रोहतक में, आजकल कहीं और पोस्टेड हो गए हैं, तो उनकी बेटी थी, तो उन्होंने मुझे सुबह ही फ़ोन किया था, मुझे लगा टाइमली आ जाएंगे, लेकिन अब अभी पहुँचे हैं तो फ़ोन कर रहे हैं कि सर कहाँ जाऊँ। कार तो मैम दिख रही है। बाला इतने समय तक तो होने से रहा। ठीक है मैम, बाला को फोन कर लूँ क्या मैं?
We are absolutely very sorry, extremely sorry for this inconvenience and for this technical issue. We are not able to make our third session. So, we are about to finish our today's webinar. So we yeah. So okay, we are almost at the
ठीक
end
है
of
मैम।
our webinar today. Not a single event can be performed with a team
किसकी
effort
ड्यूटी है मैम,
and a
पता
great
चल
teamwork.
जाता तो।
So it's my pleasure to introduce
या मैं एक बार डॉक्टर
Mr.
पुरुषोत्तम से
Upendra
पूछ
Singh
लेता हूँ।
Sir. He is a lecturer in Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute of Medical Sciences
हेलो,
and Dr. Ramana Loya Hospital, Center of Excellence in Mental Health. Also one of my colleagues to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir. Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Your voice is breaking, sir. Kindly check with the internet connection.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now it's audible.
यस।
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Indra.
नो, नॉट गेटिंग एनीथिंग वी आर।
Please another party.
Sir, again, your voice is going. Two minutes, sir. Upendra sir, your voice is not coming, sir. Some technical error is happening again and again. We are very sorry for that.
Hello.
यस।
Yes, sir. Your voice is breaking, sir. Unfortunately, your voice is breaking.
Colleagues and all the I'm very much
Upendra sir, kindly check your connection, please. Your voice is not coming, sir. Your voice is breaking.
Hello. Yeah.
इंदिरा, डोंट यू हैव एनी बैकअप प्लान?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now audible, Indra?
Yes, sir.
up
Yes,
to
sir.
now audible and hello, you are audible.
Okay, thank you, sir. I am very much thankful for ISPSW officials for their coordination and support. It wouldn't be possible without the ISPSW support at the webinar series. At the very first, I would like to thank Dr. Pradeep Pandey sir for this precious time and enlightenment.
नहीं, मैं क्लास तो वहाँ IMH वाली बिल्डिंग में ले रहा हूँ. आप वहाँ आ गए क्या 13 नंबर कमरे में? ओहो, और रुकिए अच्छा
I think we again lost the connection. Bhupendra sir, if you can share a few words, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sorry,
Yes, sir.
didn't get. Did you?
Sir, if you can share a few words with us, because
Hello.
here the
Indra, now
yes,
now
yes, sir.
now
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So at the very first, I would like to thank Dr. Pradeep Pandey sir for his precious time and enlightenment words. I show my sincere gratitude towards Professor Dr. Amol Ranjan sir for his valuable discussion and explanation of how technology has become a hurdle in parenting skill. Thank you so much, sir. And I show my sincere thanks to Dr. Bhupen sir for his knowledgeable word, and how one can fight and overcome parental stress with the sudden reversal in our role and functioning in family in that pandemic era. Thank you so much, sir. I am very thankful towards Sri Gopal sir, because he's taken his OPD time and all these things, but unfortunately he is not able to present. Thank you for giving a permission and accepting our invitation, sir. And I am so thankful to my all colleagues from the Department of Psychiatric Social Work, especially HOD ma'am, Dr. Satabdi ma'am. She always guide us, Sunita ma'am, Mayank Srivastav, and Indra Bhaumik, and all of the staff in Dr. Ramanol Lohia. Last but not the least, I thank to my uh, friend Raja Upadhyay, my senior Dr. Prem Prakash sir, Nishant, Mr. Srikant, for their quick response and unconditional support. At last, I am thankful to all for the successful webinar. Here we end today's session. Have a good day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I hope this webinar was absolutely embarked a new dimension in the field of mental health. Thanks to all the speakers. Kindly mute whomsoever